Well, it's another week on the Smallholding, and not only is the fruit bursting into life, so is the chickens. So Grace put this one in here a few weeks ago, and it's just hatched its first little chick out this morning. Also sharing the stable is this little fella. So this one's the same breed as that one that we've just showed you, and this one's about a month old. So it's in the ugly duckling stage at the minute.
Absolutely blistering hot day, so I'm just walking around and making sure that everything's still got water. Show you the pigs in a minute. Just had a quick check on the lambs. I'm going to give the ducks some more water in their pond, but it's just far too hot for everything, including me. That hose pipe's still in the pond, so I'm just going to switch that on and fill that up. But goodness me, so important to make sure everything's got the water that they need, and it's cool as well, because it heats up really quick, and then that's not good for them either. So I'll get that done while I'm home. What colour are you all? Hot and bothered. It's something like 27 degrees today, and these guys thankfully still have got quite a bit of shade. But I've put the sprinkler on just in case, so that they can make a little wallow, which they've been using. They're emptying the water bucket like every half an hour or something, so literally just playing with it. So I know that they've still got enough water and they're hydrated enough. It's quite breezy, so they're not, hopefully not going to be overheating. But they just literally, am I talking? They're itching on everything. They're just so itchy because of the weather and the dry on them. And they're just, they're getting a little bit too big now. So I think they're not too big, they're getting big enough. They're almost at the size that we want them to be at now. And to be quite honest with you, when they stand next to this stock fencing and when they itch against it, and when they get really impatient and start climbing up it, it's a little bit unnerving, because these guys could be out if they figured it out. Hopefully they wouldn't go very far, and this area here is enclosed as well, so we should be able to get them back in, but I don't want that to deal with too. But it's absolutely glorious day. I'm going to leave the sprinkler on for them for a little bit. This is their toilet area down this end. That's just water where they've knocked the water bucket over twice already this morning, so I've just put it on in the shade for them. But just itchy. Hopefully those pallets will hold. Welcome to a very dry weekend. Despite the skies you've just seen, it's actually getting out quite nice now, and we haven't had much rain at all. We're due for a heat wave too, so the next couple of days are going to be spent preparing for the heat wave, and by that really it's for me, it's going to be watering as much as possible and harvesting the things that will die off during the heat. So tonight I'm just making sure I give everything as much of a good water as I can. The carrots, we've lost some that I just didn't realise how dry they'd got, but some of them are looking okay. I've got a few beds that need weeding, things like that. Stephen's out shooting tonight, so I'm going to get a few things done in the kitchen while he's out, and then get a full day on it tomorrow. I've got kids helping me tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. And I want to talk to you a little bit as well about the grocery challenge that I keep talking to you about, because lots and lots of thoughts going into that, lots and lots of different things that we're doing to get preserved to allow us to start our new challenge from September onwards. Shouldn't really call it a challenge, because I think it's going to have to be a way of life, given the way things are going with the cost of living. Anyway, I promise not to harp on about the cost of living too much. I know it can be my favourite topic. But for tonight, I'm out here instead of inside drinking wine, because Stephen and I have been on a keto diet for the last 4 weeks. So we haven't touched a drop of wine, we haven't had any carbs or anything like that. And I'm about 11 pounds down, so I'm really pleased. But next week I shall be back on the wine, and I can't wait, but not in this video. We've Got some beautiful sweet peas coming through. They're going to need tying up tomorrow, and the potato bed is starting to die back. There's quite a few that are ready for picking. I'm not even going to bother watering these because the heat's going to do them over anyway. They're not going to grow much in the next couple of days, so I think we'll probably harvest these over the coming days. I might let the heat dye them back a little bit more, but we'll see how we get on. But they're definitely ready, and you can see there's a few weeds that are in there as well. Now this bed is looking quite good. This is the first kohlrabi that I've actually managed to grow. There's a little split in that one, but it's okay because I'm going to be peeling them and chopping them anyway. I'm really pleased with how they're coming on, because if you remember rightly, the lambs got them all last year. And cabbages looking fantastic. Always love growing cabbages. I think this one's the fielder kraut, which can get really big apparently, but they're all looking really well apart from this little sad one in the corner. And then this is the madness behind me. Goodness me, I had said I'd grow this celery on for seed to get celery seed for the pantry. Didn't appreciate how big it was going to get, so I'm going to prune that back because I think the seed off one plant will be enough. Never mind, all of that is just crazy. And then there's all of this needs weeding tomorrow as well. It's just got all of the, I can't remember what they're called, those weeds, but this is carrots and beets, so they don't want to be crowded by the weeds at all. And then there's a few nasturtium flowers that I'm going to harvest, and we're going to get dehydrated. But if I just show you this, it's not very pretty, but it proves the point. This was a nasturtium that's been taken over by the black fly, so they are definitely working as keeping the black flies off the other plants. So I'm really pleased with that. Courgettes are coming on a treat, so up here is looking really well, but definitely need to get to this bed first. And then this is feverfew. That's so pretty. I need to check if you can harvest the flowers like you can chamomile, because if so, I'll get all of that harvested tomorrow. But this area is just going to get a good tidy. Some of these plants we'll use, some of them have been lost in the heat that we've got. We'll get all of that sorted out, and then we'll make our way through to the veg plot, and we'll get all of those sorted out as best we can. And then obviously we've got the garden, the big veg plot at the bottom that we need to take care of too. For now, I've watered the greenhouse completely again. I'm doing it twice a day at the minute, just to try and stay on top of the blossom end rot, because it's literally, I mean, it's just been so hot in there. You can imagine if it's been so hot outside. So that's all taken care of for tonight. So I think I'm going to go inside, do a little bit of research on what I want to harvest tomorrow, like this feverfew, and a few other bits and pieces, because I want to get the dehydrator on again tomorrow, and then we'll get back out first thing. I need to go and grab some animal feed and bits and pieces like that, and then I shall be out early doors and getting busy for as long as the weather allows. It's next morning. We've got a slight change of plan. I'm going to get some canning done first. So I'm all about at the moment getting as many winter pantry items on the shelf as we can. And I also need to empty the freezers, which you guys have heard me mention before, for the upcoming pigs and meat birds and things like that. So I've taken out the last lot of chicken that I did from the last lot of meat birds, if that makes sense. And I'm going to do a chicken curry with vegetables. We're going to get a load of that canned. I'm hoping to get 14 pints. I'm not going to show you the full process, just give you bits and pieces from it, but we're just getting started. I've got 2 Dutch ovens that I'm going to be cooking it in, and then hopefully we'll be just hot packing it into the canner, getting that canned and onto the shelf. Shouldn't take too long. It's not actually that hot outside yet, so the greenhouse isn't too hot, because I wanted to get in the greenhouse first thing, but it's totally in the shade and it's actually quite cold out there for now. So I'm going to get busy, get started with this, and just change our day around a little bit. And then I've got something exciting to share with you later on tonight. These are the recipes made up. I've just put the basil in, which is the only herb that's going in there, and I'm going to cook these down a bit and then get them into some hot jars. So it's kind of a Thai red curry, never made it before, but we'll see how it goes. That's the last jar, so I'm double stacking. We've got 14 pints in here. Canner's in the outhouse, as you know. Well, not like the outhouse as in the toilet, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to get this canner away and get busy while it starts doing its thing. So the thing that I told you about earlier that I was going to get later tonight is a Too Good To Go box. Have you ever heard of them? There's an app, at least where we're from, that's called Too Good To Go, and it's all about reducing your food waste. So at the end of each day, lots of different supermarkets and shops around the local area put anything that's too good to waste, basically, into a bag, and you can buy it for a really, really reduced markdown price. So Jack and I have just been done a few chores, picked up a couple of things, and we've picked up a bag from Morrison's that was £3, and we're going to have a look at it together. So we have sliced greens, peas in a pod, an orange, pack of cherries that I'm guessing wouldn't sell because they were open, spare one. Don't need extra cherries, Stephen. Cucumber. Ah, there's your friends. More oranges, satsumas, 2 red peppers, some mixed chilies, a bag of potatoes, white potatoes, what do you call them?
Peaches.
Flat peaches. More potatoes and some little wonky onions. So there you go. That is everything from Morrison's Too Good To Go bag, and I tell you, this is so healthy. I'm glad there's no chocolate and not a pastry in sight. Well, I have to admit, that is the second Too Good To Go bag that we've had this week. The first one I completely messed up on. It was like a service station, petrol station that we went to, and they literally gave us like 5 pasties in, not even like a nice home cooked pasty, you know, the ones that are like £4 at the side of the road in plastic, and then you snap them and the light plastic went inside as well. Anyway, that was the other day, so we learned from that. So I've done a bit of research, and the whole point of me doing this is to feed into our September grocery challenge. So we're going to be drastically reducing our grocery budget again in September, and I will do a full video that's just about that, and I'm going to do a separate series about that as well for people who just want to follow that side of thing rather than the small holding. So I'm very pleased with the contents of this bag, and it's basically sort of helping me understand, well, if we've got a very reduced budget, do we want to use it on the Too Good To Go bags? If Morrison's, which is where this is from, was any closer, yes, it would be absolutely perfect, because we will eat anything basically. So if there's fruit and veg in there, it'll get used, but it's actually a little bit of a trek for us to get to Morrison's. However, we were over that way doing another job. We've got something that we needed to pick up, so we killed 2 birds with 1 stone. And that's why we went this time. So yes, they're very good from that point of view, but I'm not sure that it's going to be worth it unless we're over there, because Aldi is literally around the corner. And as you guys know, I love Aldi. I've never had any complaints with it. People say about the produce not being fresh, never had that problem whatsoever there. So Aldi will definitely be the staple that we go to. And if we do get to places that have got the Too Good To Go boxes, we'll maybe benefit from them every now and again. But I'm really pleased with what we've got in the contents of this, and it's actually going to do as well using some of the leftovers I've got from last night, which we'll use some of this veg for to bulk that out as well. I've used the spring greens just to make some sort of creamed cabbage, and we've got leftovers from last night, and I've just served it for the kids with some potatoes. We've got our usual chicken carcass, so I'm just going to make a quick stock. I've got a couple of dodgy looking celery ribs, Some of those onions that came in the Too Good To Go box, they're already sprouting a little bit, but they're absolutely perfect for stock. And just a couple of worse for wear looking carrots. So I'll probably just give the carrots a quick wash. I won't peel them. I'll chop everything up and get it in the Instant Pot liner, and I'm just going to put it on in the Instant Pot for about 90 minutes on high pressure. Then we can use the stock for all sorts this coming week. I've got some chicken that was off a whole chicken that we've just jointed, hence the carcass. We've got one breast left off that and some bits and pieces in here that are for the dogs. So there's the skin I'm going to cook up for the dogs, bit leftovers that were cartilagey bits and things like that. And then I need to get the rest of this sorted and frozen. All in the Instant Pot now, and I've just filled it up with water, added in a few herbs, and I'm going to pop the Instant Pot on now for about 90 minutes on high pressure, and that will be some lovely healthy broth. You can either add it to your rices to cook your different dishes in, if you can make a soup with it, or you can just drink it. I've waited till the next day to take the lid off this, and it looks as though we've got a successful seal on all of them. I don't know if you can see from there, but they are inverted. So I'm going to get these dried off, labelled, and on the shelf. Look who's come to help me, where it's nice and cool, eh, Annie? She's even brought me a shoe. It's getting really warm again. It's been nice and cool this morning, but it's warming up, so she's looking for somewhere to cool off. So I'm going to leave these ones out here in the stores out the back. I've labelled them all, but I've just turned these front ones away. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if I prefer it with the labels forward or backward. They're just labelled with a paint, what's it called, a paint pen, chalk pen. I'm going to take a couple in the house just purely for display purposes and pop them on the dresser with everything else. So it's really worth taking your time. It's took you quite a while to pressure can these. It's really worth you taking your time just to dry them off, give them a good check. So all of the seals have worked on this, so I'm very pleased. That's 14 pints of food going on the winter pantry shelf. And you can use this as a curry, you can thicken it up, you can use it as a soup base, anything like that. And as you can see, there's quite a bit going on in here at the minute that I need to get through anyway. But it is worth taking your time, get them labelled, put the date on, stock rotate, all that kind of stuff. And in no time, the shelves are just filling up. So I'm trying to do a little bit every day. Today, I think, I'm not sure, I'm definitely going to get some herbs now. And I've got some more jelly type stuff because we're in sort of jelly season at the moment. So as in jam jelly, not jelly, you know, what kids buy from the supermarket jelly. So I'll see how I get on with that. But bit of a pottering afternoon. It's warming up a bit, so don't want to do too much and frazzle in the heat. I'm going to have to take my coat off now because it's, you can see from my face, starting to get a bit pink. Matching my coat. I guess I'll leave this door open. Bless her. On water changing duty again. Goodness me. This is the coolest day we've got. Now I know in other countries they get like 30 plus, 40 plus sometimes regularly, but we're not designed for this with our infrastructure and everything. Oh, I've just realised I've let the sheep out and there's mams and lambs separated. One sec. And a train. You're going to get wet on your way through. Come on. Trying to cool them off by hosing them down as if it's raining, but sometimes they say that makes it worse. So one of them is panting terribly and she's like dripping from the mouth. So I've let them through from the field where the horses are. The horses seem to be coping okay at the moment. I've let the sheep through back into the garden, so there's the woods, this bit behind me, which is a bit more shaded, but to be honest, there's very little respite from it at the minute. And the worry is, so we've got tomorrow's Monday, that's going to be really hot, but Tuesday is just going to be a scorcher. If we can get through Tuesday without anything being suffering or any problems that, you know, problems that you can't come back from, then I'll be a happy chap. So we really are just trying to prepare for this heat wave. I've got this bucket doing. I've got another one that's still nearly full from the last fill up, but I'm going to do that and just replace it with cold water again. And then also, I think this is the girl that I'm worried about. And then also the pigs. I'm going to put the sprinkler on for the pigs. So change of plan. Pigs are supposed to go on tonight, but we actually got let down by somebody. Well, I say let down. It was unavoidable. The people that were going to cover while he was out helping us have got COVID, so they can't do what they can't cover for him. And long story short, so the pigs are now going to go tomorrow morning. We've been so lucky that another kind neighbour has offered to help us out early before work in the morning, so fingers crossed. I don't like doing it first thing on the morning before work because everybody's in a rush and the pigs don't always want to cooperate. They've never been on a trailer before, so I'm going to include that in next week's video. I think I'm going to wrap this one up very shortly. Haven't been able to get in the garden like I wanted to because I didn't appreciate, even though the sun wasn't out, how hot it was. So I'm just going to get these waters filled up, and to be quite honest, we're probably just going to sit and just chill out for the afternoon. There's not much left of it. Have a barbecue and then get ready for the pigs tomorrow. So I'm going to go and get the sprinkler on for those guys and then wrap up. Oh, and I'll show you some footage from when the kids and Stephen went in the river the other day. Whew. So thanks for watching. I'm not sure if I'll be back on this one. See you later. I'm going to miss having you around.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.